Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Katie Bennett. I'm ILI's Communication Director. I'm joined today with Norval Trindade, our Vice President for Training. We're back again. It is time to bring you something fresh off the press, our 2023 Impact Report. And we are so excited about the results that we saw last year in 2023. I just want to read our verse, our foundational verse to you that we do all of our training based off of here at the International Leadership Institute, and that is 2 Timothy 2:2. And the things you've heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others. Everything we do here at ILI is based on multiplication. And wow, did we see that this year, right, Norval?
Absolutely. It's great to be back. It's great to be able to share this again. I think we've been doing this for a few years, haven't
Yeah.
we, Katie?
Yeah, we've been here. So, guys, we have so much to tell you about. Leaders from so many nations around the world came together in person and online to get their leadership skills exactly where God wants them so that they can multiply and expand the kingdom of God here on earth. But in order to tell you about all those numbers, we have a few people we want to thank. So, Norval, let's start with who we need to thank first.
Well, first of all, it is about a whole global team.
Yeah.
It's not one person, but it is a family of leaders that really sacrificially, Katie, um, give in different ways
Yeah.
to make this ministry happen.
Mhm.
And so there are in particular three groups that we are thankful for. And the first one are the alumni that actually
Mm.
do the training out on the field. And this year, our alumni around the world have organized 833 training events, and you will see that in the report.
Wow.
It's amazing. We had set a goal of 800 and we've surpassed it
Yeah.
by the grace of God and by the hard work of all of our leaders.
Wow. Thank you. And I want to tell you this impact report is fresh off the press, but you can also get a copy of it at iliteam.org/impact. So as Norval is going through this, get on that website, download the PDF, and you can follow along as we go through these numbers.
And we are all over the world,
Yeah.
and these events were hosted in exactly 100 countries of the world. And not only it's a significant number of countries, but some of the countries where ILI held training are among the most dangerous
Yeah.
places in the world for people to be a Christian.
Mm.
And so people have organized training and have equipped leaders for the gospel under risk of literally for their lives.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we pulled up some of the stats you'll see in here. We looked at the World Watch list by Open Doors in 2023, and we actually saw training events happening in 6 out of 10 of those nations. And that's when I stop and think about that, Norval, it just blows my mind because we are praying for these conferences. We're praying for these leaders being trained, but they're on the front lines risking their lives, their jobs, their families because they know the importance of spreading the gospel and they are committed.
Absolutely. I'm always inspired to hear stories. And unfortunately, we cannot mention names,
Mm.
countries, places, or
Mhm.
dates or anything like that because it would put their lives
Right.
at risk. Now, 100 nations hosted training, Katie, but because online training transcends national borders, we
Mm.
actually had leaders from 121 countries of the world attend one of our training
That's
events.
amazing. That's amazing.
And, the UN recognizes 195 countries in the world. So that's represents 62% of all existing political nations in the
Wow.
world.
And the hope is that they go back and take the training to their nation and multiply it with their own people.
Well, yeah, in fact, in some of these countries, we are already working to develop teams. And so in future years,
Mm.
some of those countries will be also part of our global team.
Yeah, that's fascinating. And again, thank you. If you are an alumni, if you're one of our sacrificial leaders just out there on the front lines, we really do want to thank you because what you're doing is making an impact and bringing Jesus to the nation. So we really hope that you feel our heart right now when we say thank you.
Yeah, I do appreciate, and I visit them often,
Mm,
Katie, and I am touched and impressed by their
mm,
commitment, sacrificial commitment a lot of times.
yeah.
And so the total number of leaders trained was 26,618 men and women equipped for gospel work.
Wow.
That number was a little smaller than we expected for the year, but that's because, on average, the events were a little smaller
Right.
than they had been historically for us. So that's what our alumni have been able to accomplish.
Amazing.
Now, all of that wouldn't be possible without another group.
Yeah.
That's our financial supporters. We can do the work that we do because of the generosity of hundreds of individuals, churches, companies, and foundations that provide the funding
Yeah.
for us to do all of this training.
Mm. Yeah, it really is something that we don't take for granted. We know that there's so many of you out there that have been called to give, and we could not do this on this side, and our leaders would not be able to do as much and get into nations where we don't have access without the funding. So we could not sit here and say thank you enough. What you do to sacrificially give is really impacting the world.
It does, and it allows us to manage all of these teams. We have 102 national volunteer teams that need to be managed from our office.
Mm,
We also invest in training events so that the cost of participation is lower,
yeah.
which will give access to the training for leaders who would otherwise not be able to pay for it.
Right.
We also use the funds to invest the reach of ILI into new countries. And we've been using funds also to build a strong online presence where ILI can continue to invest the 8 core values in the lives of men and women, but on a much larger scale,
Yeah.
on a really global scale through the internet, social media, YouTube, podcast, and other media.
It's really exciting to see what God has done, bringing new team members here to the ILI staff and the doors that have been opened digitally because of that. And it's a beautiful picture of the hands and feet and you being the body of Christ, allowing everyone across the world to have the opportunity to see the gospel spread.
Absolutely. And then last, but certainly not least, we have to thank our prayer partners.
Yeah.
And I know
Yeah.
you have a strong
Yes.
participation into that with the prayer initiatives throughout the year. Um, the leaders that conduct our training are what we call the tip of the spear.
Mm,
They're out there in the front lines in direct contact
mm,
with the lost world. And it is a battle, and
mm.
they need that backing. And so we're grateful for the men and women who fight the battle with our leaders from their prayer closet.
Yeah. Yeah, we really say everything here at ILI depends on first strategy of prayer. And we mean that. We meet together every single day as a staff and we pray together at 11 o'clock because none of this could be done by human means. None of this could be done without God's hand on the ministry. And for us sitting on this side of the table, we just know how crucial it is when you get on your knees and you pray for this ministry, whether you are a financial giver, whether you are an alumni serving on the front lines, hearing about ILI for the first time. We invite you in to be part of our prayer team because we couldn't do any of this without the prayers. So if you do want to join our prayer team, go to iliteam.org/pray because we have great prayer initiatives every so often during the year, and it's filled with different ways to pray for ILI, for the ministry, but also for ways that you can pray for leaders in nations and then get videos from them and learn about their countries and what's happening, and just a really eye-opening experience to be a part of our prayer team. So we invite you into that, and we thank you for being a part of somebody who's willing and committed to pray.
Absolutely, Katie. In our cover letter of our impact report, there's a sentence there about how the numbers are important,
Right.
but every number represents one person, one man or a woman who wants to make a difference for God. and be a part of this movement that is literally changing history
Yeah.
for the gospel. And so we want to leave you with a story, one of the leaders that has been impacted and transformed by being a part of an ILI training. So watch this.
Greetings from ILI South Asia. I'm so glad to be here and share what God is doing through ILI in South Asia. There are many things that I can share. And then there was this one pastor who had a vision from God to go and do ministry in Northeast India from South India, which is a complete opposite setup that God wanted him to go. And then he went there and he planted a church for the migrant workers living around. There was a fire accident where he was living. He was living in a small hut, and there was a fire accident which burned the whole area. At least 20 to 25 houses were burned down to the road, and then they had no place to live and no place to go. Government did take care of them for a certain time, and then after that even they left them. So they had no food, they had no clothing, they had no place to live. They were just depending on the neighboring people who were now and then coming and providing them some food. And this pastor, he came and shared with me that, in that situation, he actually attended this conference with his son so that they both could have food and shelter for the 5 days. After these 5 days, he wanted to go back since there's no way of getting food and there's no support from their family, because he and his family are the only converts in the whole family. So nobody is going to help them from the family. So this is what he decided, that after this conference, he would go back. He would poison the whole family, and then he would also die. This is what God did there. This is what God spoke to him. Family priority session. And then he understood that family is a ministry from God, a vision from God, and a responsibility from God. It really tore his life. Then he understood the value of family. He understood the value of his wife and children that God blessed them with. And then that's when he started, thinking and depending, okay, if God has given me this family, he's going to take care of it. I'm no one to end something that God has blessed me with. So he was in an intention to end the whole family before attending the conference. But after the conference, he changed his mind, he changed his attitude and heart. And then he shared with me crying and saying, Pastor, I was here to just have some food and shelter for the 5 days, but then God had a different plan. God wanted to talk to me personally, and he did speak with me personally. And today I'm going back. I am going to take care of my family, and I'm going to look unto God and for his provision.